Hello students, I am Rakhi Sharma, your social science teacher, welcomes you in the tutorial of second chapter, Parallels and Meridians. Do you know, children, what are these parallels and meridians? You have read in the first chapter that the earth is spherical in shape. Now in this chapter we will learn how to locate a place on earth. To find the location of places on the earth, we need certain imaginary lines as reference. These lines are called parallels and meridians. Students, the earth rotates on its axis, which is an imaginary line drawn through the center of the earth. The endpoints on the axis are called poles. Here the point on the top is the North Pole and the point at the bottom is the South Pole. Now, what are parallels? See children, in this diagram, a set of circles is drawn on the surface of the globe. These circles run from east to west. They are also called parallels or lines of latitude. Actually, these lines are not drawn on earth. They are just imaginary lines to study the earth. Equator, red line you have seen in the middle of this picture, is the longest parallel on earth. It divides the earth into two equal halves. The upper half of the earth is called northern hemisphere and the lower half of the earth is called southern hemisphere. Now let's learn how are parallels numbered. We start from the equator and mark it as 0 degree latitude. We mark the other parallels from 0 degree to 90 degree and also marked N north and as for south according to their location. Now the North Pole is written as 90 degree north and the South Pole is written as 90 degree south. There are 90 parallels in the northern hemisphere and 90 parallels in the southern hemisphere. Therefore, there are 181 parallels in all, including the equator. Now the next point is important features of parallels. See, in this diagram, all parallels are complete circles except for the North Pole and the South Pole because these are points. The length of the parallels decreases as we move away from the equator and towards the poles. All parallels are located at an equal distance from each other and parallels neither touch nor cross one another. Now the next is important parallels. See, in this diagram, other than the equator, that is 0 degree, the North Pole 90 degree north and the South Pole 90 degree south, there are 4 other important parallels. These are the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north, the Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degree south, the Arctic Circle, that is 66.5 degree in northern hemisphere, and Antarctic Circle 66.5 degree in the southern hemisphere. Now the next is meridians. What are meridians? See, in this diagram, imaginary lines running from north to south are called meridians, or we can say lines of longitude. These lines are drawn from pole to pole. Now let's learn how are meridians numbered. Students, as I told you earlier that to number the parallels, we start from the equator. Similarly, we need a starting point to number the meridians also. In 1884, it was decided to fix Greenwich, a place near London, as the starting point for numbering meridians. The meridian that passed through Greenwich was marked 0 degree and named prime meridian. If we move away from the both sides of the prime meridian towards the east and the west, we reach halfway round the earth at 180 degree. That means there are 180 meridians towards the east of the prime meridian and 180 meridians towards the west of the prime meridian, and the meridian of 180 degree east and 180 degree west is the same single line. So we can say in total there are 360 meridians. Now our next point is important features of meridians. See in this picture, all meridians are of the same length. The maximum distance between any two meridians is at the equator. The distance between any two meridians decreases as we move away from the equator towards the poles. Meridians cut the parallels at the right angles, that is 90 degree. Meridians are used to measure distances in the east-west direction. Now let's learn how to locate a place on the globe. The parallels and meridians form a network of lines on the globe. This is called a grid. We use it to locate places on the globe. To locate a place, we must know the values of its parallel or latitude and its meridian or longitude. The point at which the parallel and the meridian cross each other is the location of that place. Now that's all in this chapter. For a quick recap about latitudes and longitudes, or you can say parallels and meridians, let's have a brief summary through this animation.
Parallels and meridians. The earth rotates on its axis. It is an imaginary line drawn through the center of the earth. The end points on the axis are called poles. The point on the top is the North Pole. The one at the bottom is the South Pole. A set of circles is drawn on the surface of the globe. These circles run from east to west. They are called parallels or lines of latitude. The earth is divided into two equal parts by drawing an imaginary line midway between the North Pole and the South Pole. This line is called the equator. It is the longest parallel. The part of the earth which lies to the north of the equator is called the northern hemisphere. The other half, known as the southern hemisphere, lies to the south of the equator. Other than the equator, 0 degree, the North Pole, 90 degree north, and the South Pole, 90 degree south, there are four other important parallels. These are the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south, the Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree north, the Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree south. Imaginary lines running from north to south are called meridians or lines of longitude. These lines are drawn from pole to pole. The parallels and meridians form a network of lines on the globe. This is called a grid. We use it to locate places on the globe. The point at which the parallels and the meridians cross each other is the location of that place.
Thank you.